Hello there, Bobo the Bitcoiner is back. I'm supposed to do this video last week, but anyway, it's still something worth to know and understand, and the subject is the ignorant Jimmy Dimon. Okay. In the recent World Economic Forum at Davos on the 17th of January, Jimmy Dimon, CEO of Morgan Stanley, was interviewed by CNBC. He said, "I think there is a good chance that we will get to that 21 million Bitcoin. Satoshi," or he said Satashi Nakamoto is going to come here, laugh hysterically, go quiet, and all Bitcoin is going to be erased. He suggested that there's no guarantee that the Bitcoin issuance will end once the circulating supply reaches 21 million Bitcoin. How the hell do you know that it's going to stop at 21 million? I never meet anyone who told me that they know that as a fact. That's his statement. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that to Jimmy, that if you don't know, better to keep quiet. I don't blame him for not knowing Bitcoin because it clearly shows how ignorant he is. I believe in my audience, or many of you in the audience, will be able to explain to him even, right? The fact that you follow my YouTube and my Bobo Bitcoin enthusiast Telegram, you spend many hours to understand Bitcoin. Obviously, you know better than Jimmy. Okay, any normal people who have read the Bitcoin in publication, in media, and newsreel will by now pronounced Satoshi as Satoshi, not Satashi. But Jimmy is Jimmy, yeah? He's too occupied in his world of elites who are too busy on how to milk the profit from the traditional world of finance. People in his elite group simply brush off Bitcoin network as irrelevant and nonsense. Will they spend even the 100 hours to understand Bitcoin? No lah. They are simply too absorbed and protected by their own legacy world. Unfortunately, they have yet to recognize that Bitcoin network will be eating their lunch very soon. I appreciate people like Larry Finch, CEO of BlackRock. He was also a critic of Bitcoin. He thinks Bitcoin is an index of money laundering. Originally, it was this young guy, Robbie McNick. He came to BlackRock with the idea of creating a Bitcoin ETF. He orange-pilled Larry. And Larry actually did the homework. He spent more than 1,000 hours and was deep in understanding of what is Bitcoin. And that is why it will be, he called it now, Bitcoin as an international store of value. It takes a smart leader to pridefully say that Bitcoin sucks, and then 24 months later say I'm wrong. BlackRock needs to have a significant stake in it. He has said two things. If you are an investor, one, it is a store value. Two, it represents a threat to quality. So let's explain to Jamie, if he care to listen. Money will be printed at any time by a government who needs fuel the needs. Typically, the US dollar, US government print money to finance the war against other countries. War. In the last 100 years, US declared war on 108 countries, 5 of which they are still fighting. Money becomes their evil instrument. When the country overspend, the government print money. When they run into financial crisis or pandemic, the government just print money to solve the problem. Is that the actual solution? It's kicking the can down the road, right? Whereas in the Bitcoin network, no one has to give one has to give a lot of effort, time, and energy in order to generate value. And that value is Bitcoin. The effort is capital. Time is blood and sweat to mine Bitcoin. And energy is a computer power and time to solve the proof of work. So Bitcoin don't just drop from the sky like fiat currency. Jimmy questioned, who is to guarantee Bitcoin will stop issuance when reach 21 million Bitcoin? Obviously, he did not try to look into Bitcoin event. Satoshi came out with this ingenious, innovative formula. He first designed a block with a 1 megabyte space to contain the transaction within. And each block must be mined in approximately 10 minutes. The next block will be linked to the block before, and then the next block, and the next block. And they are all linked together to form the newly Bitcoin designed blockchain. If a block is not mined in 10 minutes, the protocol will adjust the proof of work difficulty to make it easier or more difficult, so that timing is always 10 minutes plus or minus per block. And after 2016 block, which is approximately 14 days, then after 210,000 block, which is approximately 4 years, the reward is halved. Bitcoin started in 2008 with a block reward of 50 Bitcoin. Then in 2001, 4 years later, the block is reward is cut half to 25 Bitcoin. Then in 2016, the reward is 12.5 Bitcoin. Then 2020, the reward is half again to 6.25 Bitcoin currently. So by the next halving in April 2024, the rewards will be 3.125 Bitcoin. This continue until 2140. Okay? When the rewards becomes zero. That is why the 21 million Bitcoin is completed. No more reward. So Jimmy, you understand now how only 21 million Bitcoin will be mined. You will probably argue that by then, Satoshi will come and erase all the Bitcoin away. So funny and uninformed. By that time, Satoshi would have been dead long ago. Even if Satoshi were to reappear today, he is not able to change the protocol. This is where Jimmy doesn't understand Bitcoin decentralization. All decision to change, if any, is decided by the network community nodes that consists of user like you and me, programmer, exchange, wallet, and miner. Their decision is very open and democratic. If 51% agreed to change, it will be changed. Satoshi is only one out of the tens of thousands node. He alone cannot make any change. Finally, Jamie claimed he had not met anyone who said Bitcoin cannot be changed. Of course, his circle of elites who refuse to understand Bitcoin will never understand. Even his staff at JP Morgan will not dare to explain to him. Remember in 2017, he announced that any staff in JP Morgan who own Bitcoin will be sacked. That is how biased he is. That is how blind he is to Bitcoin network. And he refused to understand. Hope you enjoy how ignorant Jamie Dimon is, right? Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.